Internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
You are listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
GUFON Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
Let the cream rise to the top. Oh yeah. GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
GUFON Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to GUFON Radio Stream. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is, what is it? Wednesday? No, it is, isn't it? Is it Wednesday? Yep, May 27th, 2020. How you guys doing? Almost to June. It's really weird. I thought, remember a couple, 3-4 weeks ago at the end of April, I said, you guys got 1 week left and then you got to get back to work and go back, enjoy this next week with your family as if you never lived. People still aren't going to work. It's not that easy to get jobs. It's weird seeing everybody still home, but traffic has picked up tremendously, and that sucks. Don't like traffic. If it could stop right now, see if the Georgia Guidestones were upped from 500 million to 2 billion, then that traffic I could also handle. Let's do roll call and we'll get the show on the road. Got a lot of weird stuff. I had a conversation with someone about Clifford Stone. So I've got a couple of clips I'll play of old C Stone there. And we're just going to go run the gamut tonight. Not really. But roll call is James Gilbert. What do you say, Mr. JG? Tranquility Base 69, IVE +1. PBR Street Gangbang. PBR. Peanut Butter Rolls. B Baker. 2 B's are better than 1. B Baker. B Baker's Dozen. Diecast Monsieur. Zach Dicas Monsieur Stu Gerson. How do you say? What do you be, Mr. G? Game Vet 02. Good to see you there, buddy. Sent you an email. Jocko Johnson. 2 J's are better than 1. No need to change his name. And we got Big Cat, the BC in the house. How you doing, Big Cat? Every time I say Big Cat, I always think, here he is, coming out of the back room, Big Cat. FAP, how do you say, what do you be? FAP. And everybody else. Andrew Montano, Spook Cat, 2 for 1. And I guess we'll just wreaking havoc, 215. Renee Cruisin. And everybody else just Arizona Lerps. You guys just keep popping up. Did I say, yeah, I did. Jeremy Chandler, good to see you. 2 nights in a row. Good deal. Yeah, last night's show was weird. Hey, StreamYard, good to see you checking out your own show. StreamYard? No, that wasn't right. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's going to be like that. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it is. COVID-19 cases rise in 17 states. And Americans still divided on whether masks should be on. What do you think about that? I got a little clip I'm going to play, a real short one. Giddy up from CNN, right? Yeah, go ahead and play that clip, will you? Go ahead, bud. Anytime you're ready. There we go. Go ahead. Now I'm waiting. Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? Corona coming up. Masks? Who knows? You like them? You want to make them? We'll see what they say over at CNN. Guys, back to you. Guys, we seem to be having a problem connecting to CNN right now. Can you let me know when that comes in? We'll get back to CNN. You know, that's an interesting point, though. Should masks... Oh, yeah, I think we got the feed, and here he is. Okay. You got it? Now, I know what he's going to say. I've seen this clip. And
let's take a look.
You son of a...
At the most...
You know what I mean? It just stops.
Recent trends. Number one, this is...
Okay, guys, we'll get back to you later. Yeah. All right. Let's pause this. We'll let you catch up to us a little bit. Anyway, as I was saying, seen the clip. It's really worth it. Every second of it's worth seeing. It really is. You're going to learn just so much. What do you say there, Fred?
The national trend over the last 2 weeks. You see the 7-day moving average is the red line. That's a plateau. Down a little bit.
This is brilliant. No, you can't write this stuff. No, can't write it.
But coming down very stark.
Yeah. How about we just do the old-fashioned way, huh? What do you say, Al? So there are 17 states where the number of...
These are the newly confirmed cases across...
Oh, you sister's ass. I said I can do it myself. Bafangul. Virginia on Tuesday became the latest state to compel people to wear masks.
The country in the last 4 days.
You
The United
prick.
States still.
I don't need your help, I said. Can somebody just disconnect Joey over here in the corner? This prick bastard. All right, well, he's
20,000 cases a day. A
motherless
few
whore.
spikes, but you see that line, 7-day average.
How do we shut the prick up? With this? The guy's always been a prick since he came on the news team, you know? One of them jerks. Anyway, Virginia on Tuesday became the latest state to compel people to wear masks in certain situations. The rule applies to anyone 10 years of age or older. So if you're under 10, you're allowed to walk around without a mask, catch corona, pest to your parents, and kill them. Are you stupid? Within a public indoor space. How stupid are we here? Oh, for God almighty. What are we doing in this country? Masks will be required on public transportation, the governor said. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends wearing a cloth face covering in public. Huh? Recommends wearing a cloth face. All right. Hey, Ma, forget the skin. I'm going cloth today. Not the leather. Is this the dumbest world? Where are we right now? Hey, what are we doing? Look at this jerk off in the corner still trying to talk. Oh my God, this is terrible. You think, oh, you're going to add me now. Thanks. I appreciate that. Hi, how you guys doing? All right? Are we connecting like we're supposed to here? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, you want to wear a mask? You got to check with your local government and see if you have to. I don't know. But COVID there's 17 states that are still, a third of the countries, we're still having an increase in corona. And people think that, what are you going to do? You know, what do we know? All the numbers could be fake anyway. You and I would never know. It just blows my mind. This is just a game. It's a game. At this point now, it's a game. I think people have lost their... And now they're trying to throw this, oh, hey, we all feel at risk. 100,000 people died from COVID-19 in the U.S. And, you know, anybody who has had family, anybody watching the show, sorry if your loved one or friend or acquaintance of anybody you may know who caught the coronavirus died, that sucks. But 100,000 people compared to what the flu kills. And we talked about the other diseases that are that kill 1.5 million people, 10 million a year. What was that one? It was a pretty big one. And people still walking around coughing and sneezing on each other. And it's 10 times what Corona did. Yet we don't shut the country down for that. It's a supply of money. You got to have this, we got to kill a certain amount of people. True, I believe that a certain amount of people should be dying to get closer to the now new updated Georgia Guidestones of 2 billion people are allowed to live in this end of days scenario that we're living through. The U.S. death toll from COVID-19 has reached a somber milestone. Seriously. You got to put somber. What do you want me to do? Start crying? As of Wednesday, the highly infectious viral disease taken more than 100,000 lives nationwide, soaring from 2 known coronavirus fatalities in February to more than 58,000 in April. The tally of U.S. deaths in a country with fewer than 5% of the world's inhabitants now accounts for nearly 1/3 of all known lives lost worldwide to the pandemic. Who wants to say that this was not an attack on our country? So obvious. Even with the let's just use those numbers anyway. Who knows what's real? But let's just assume we're living in this reality and those numbers are legit. Then it is weird that we would have all those deaths, considering we're only 5% of the world's population. It's amazing to me. That's an attack on a country, if I've ever seen one. And you can nod your head to China and Russia. I'm telling you, it's China and Russia. Yeah. Walk around the gulag, huh? See how people treat an American over there. Walk around China. Can you see under those masks anyway? China's great. I'd love to go there. What is it? 5,000 years of history compared to our 205. What is it? 3,000 years? How many years have the China people been around? I don't want to say anything racist. All right, let's move on. So I came across this really cool video, and it's called "The Bizarre Behavior of Rotating Bodies Explained." Now, this comes from the Veritasium channel. I guess I'm saying that right. Veritasium. And it's spinning objects. They have a strange instabilities that's known as the Zanabekov effect or tennis racket theorem. This video offers an intuitive explanation. I don't know if it's interesting to you, but I think this is just amazing. Yeah, we're done with COVID. Why would we still be talking about COVID? It's still happening. We got to move on. That's the end of that. As a matter of fact, let's get rid of that. Goosh. Moving on. I'm going to play this video because I think it's very interesting. I don't know if I shared it with anyone, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me pull this up here. It is 14 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I am not going to speak that much. Yay. I know you like that. Hope it doesn't stutter on you.
Remembers your passwords so you don't have to. More about them at the end of the show. What you are looking at is known as the Janabekov effect, or the tennis racket theorem, or the intermediate axis theorem, but we'll get to that. Now, you may have seen clips like this one before, but in this video, I will provide the best intuitive explanation of how this effect works, or at least that's my goal. Now, it involves arguably the best mathematician alive, Soviet-era secrets, and the end of the world. So in 1985, cosmonaut Vladimir Janabekov was tasked with saving the Soviet space station Salyut 7, which had completely shut down. The mission was so dramatic that the Russians made a movie out of it in 2017. And after rescuing the space station, Janabekov unpacked supplies sent up from Earth, which were locked down with a wingnut. And as the wingnut spun off the bolt, he noticed something strange. The wingnut maintained its orientation for a short time, and then it flipped 180 degrees. And as he kept watching, it flipped back a few seconds later. And it continued flipping back and forth at regular intervals. This motion wasn't caused by forces or torques applied to the wingnut. There were none. And yet it kept flipping. It was a strange and counterintuitive phenomenon, one that the Russians kept secret for 10 years. Why the secrecy? Well, that is what we're going to find out. 6 years later, in 1991, a paper was published in the Journal of Dynamics and Differential Equations called The Twisting Tennis Racket.
I'm sorry, but after all these years, nobody ever realized that this was happening. It just blows my mind how we advanced as fast as we have. Aliens.
racket. And although it was related, it of course makes no mention of the secret Janabekov effect. The paper says if you hold a tennis racket facing you and then flip it in the air like this, it not only rotates the way you intend it to, it also makes a half turn around an axis that passes through its handle. So the side that was originally facing you will be facing away when you catch it. Now to understand this, we need to go through some basics. Like there are 3 ways to spin a tennis racket about its 3 principal axes. The first is about an axis that runs through the handle, like this. The second is the way we were spinning it before, with an axis that runs parallel to the head of the racket. And the third is about an axis that runs perpendicular to the head of the racket.
Okay, you get the point. At this point, you understand what they're going to try to figure out. So I'm putting the link in the chat room. It'll also be in the description after the show ends. So you guys, that is just bizarre to me how that could happen. I noticed it with tennis rackets before. And I think other things too. I just can't think. Maybe a ruler or something like that. I don't know, but I guess it has to do with the like pull. It's just when you cause it to be in motion, the other factors that come into play just react. But it is weird that it also happens in space. We live in a weird world. You know what that means, don't you? It's a matrix reality. It is. We live in a matrix reality, believe it or not. All right. I want to change a little bit right now. Keep you on your toes tonight. We're going to do a little bit of dot here, just a dot video. It's real short, minute and 25 seconds, but I like to get your thoughts on this. This is from May 10th, 2020, barbell-shaped spinning, morphing, UFO daylight capture, Littleton, Colorado. You can see here from Beam's Investigation 1, oh, he's right around where we are. It's not really getting a lot of views, and let's see why. Got a nice audio. It looks like a digital camera. It is. I hope you put that in the description. I see spinning. I see balloon-like activity. Oh, no. Whoa, reflection, sun, balloon. No. Hey, 503, how you doing? Tyler Sawyer. Lee, happily. What do you say there? Maureen. My voice. Are we done with this guy yet? There's a reason why this is only getting 100 views. First of all, we need to learn how to use the focus wheel instead of autofocus, Junior. First mistake, rookie. This is why people, unless this is his phone. If it's his phone, then that makes sense. I want to know what kind of camera. I want to know GPS coordinates. I want to know the weather. Right? It looks like it's nice out, right? About 70. We won't know. It's May. Might be around 70. Bird in the background. That gives authenticity to this. No, he's using a regular camera. You could hear the machinery, the mechanics of it when he zoomed away. Now, why would he do that? Hey, right? Why would he do that if this was a real UFO at the end? Anybody? Class? Hey, FAP with a $5 super chat. Yahoo! Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Why isn't the screen going on me? All right, hold on a second. Let me pull it back up. All right, so we got the video here. Let me just replay it again for you. I just wanted to give you the full screen. So we see the guy. Thank you very much, FAP. That is definitely burrito money right there. It's incredible. Thanks. Burrito. Actually, it's going towards Drone and computer money. Yes, we're still. Yeah, it's expensive. All right, so we got this. It's a balloon. Who we kidding? Right? But at the end, he did something he didn't even realize. He told us what this was by this action. Watch. He zooms away from a UFO. Oh man, he says. Oh man. Like he was working hard for that 1 minute, 20 seconds. Why would he zoom away from a UFO that's spinning, morphing, barbell shaped? Who does that? A guy who knows it's a balloon. It's so stupid. You just put your own mistake right in front of the world to see. I got some photos I got to show you real quick from today. Here's a balloon in the grocery store. Yeah, it's the letter O. That's an S. Here's another picture of it, a little taller. SOS. Yes, these are the things that are showing up, which brings us to our next contestant on tonight's show. Who do we have up next, you say? What? Whoa, hey, who? I'm going to tell you what happened just to tell you what happened. All right? You want to know what's going on in my life sometimes? I'm going to tell you right now. So I got the Magic 8 Ball, in front. I can't show you because I don't have the 2-camera capabilities here. I usually, and I know I did because I see it out of the corner of my eye, and I thought I was losing my mind. It just moved, and it hit the mouse. I was like, "What is hitting them?" And it had moved. There's no way it was there. And when I turned and looked over here and I was playing around with the screen, I thought I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I didn't look away thinking there was something in my eye, because there is something in my eye. And that's unbelievable to me. It feels cold too. It's actually cold. It's like there's a little breeze underneath. This is amazing. I can't believe what I'm actually feeling right now. It is actually cold. This is just amazing. Wow. Man, my hand is itching. That's weird. Wow. You really do get goosebumps, just so you know. And I don't know what it's from. I have goosebumps like you wouldn't believe right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this hand is actually cold. And this one isn't. It's amazing. This stuff happens like all the time in this home. When I leave here, I feel totally different. Totally different. I do. It's like when I walk through that front door, whatever it is, it's waiting. It's bored or something. I don't know. It's not mean or anything. And there it is again. I feel the breeze on my hand. It's like I'm imagining somebody holding my hand right now. I can totally feel it. I'll put my other hand there. Yes, that's cold. There's no way it's not. That's unbelievable. That is so bizarre to live here. Yeah, it's just weird. Okay. All right. Okay. So we did we were just talking about this, right? Okay. So the other day, yesterday, I don't remember what day, I was talking about a guy named Robert Bingham. Robert Bingham got his stardom because of Third Phase of Moon 4 years ago, where they did a live. The guy said he can summon UFOs. So they did a live thing. People actually went to where the guy was, where Bingham was, and he summoned a UFO. Let me pull up something here. Third Phase of Moon did these over the phone as a live show a couple of times a month, I think. And the guy just took off. And he's still around. And you have got to see some of these videos. I know I showed you a couple the other day, yesterday, I don't know what day, but this isn't right. You see what's on the screen right now. All right. Now, you know anything's possible with balloons, right? You got star-shaped, heart-shaped, pillow-shaped, dog-shaped, ET-shaped, letters, numbers, anything you could design, you can make into a balloon. Would you agree? Good. So, with that being said, Robert Bingham. I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to play it. It's beautiful. Look at this production value. There you are. There's Blake. It's a bag. Oh. Is that Rosie O'Donnell? I'm sorry. That's Blake. There he is. That's the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, he's going to talk. Oh, okay.
Hi, this is Robert Bingham. I'm going to explain a little about the video that we're showing, the green leprechaun. Anyway, I took this at Hans Boyson event on his Alley UFO channel. I decided to go there because Third Phase of Moon was going to be there. And I called in a lot of ships that day. Third Phase of Moon asked me if I can get them closer, so I did that. Then I went beyond that, and I told Third Phase of Moon, I commanded them to come in and stay there for 40 minutes, but he couldn't stay long. He didn't stay there that long. And so he took off. Three of them
actually seems like a nice guy, right? He doesn't seem like he has bad intentions.
Stood there about 5:30. We stood there a few more hours. They did come, and they did stay there for 40 minutes. This is the video that you're watching, this green thing that morphs. This is totally UFO.
We just had a blackout. Screens went black here, so I'm letting the everything populate. Okay, here we go.
Terrestrial technology, and I will be giving you more in ships and things like that when you're able to handle it, and I will be giving it to you. So for all the debunkers out there, you can state all your little sissy comments and go on and do what you do. Just troll people who have the truth. You have no gifts whatsoever, yet you're out there just trying to build your own channel by doing this crap. That just shows you what style.
Okay. All right. The guy is very opinionated already. It looks, this was when he just got started. Okay. So he's feeling invincible. He hasn't learned. From what I can tell watching these videos. I mean, you are not going to believe the other videos here. He's amazing.
You have and what kind of person you are. You're just nothing but sissies out there.
Sissies.
But anyway, that's enough said there. You guys enjoy the video, and I'll be bringing more. Thank you.
Yes, you will. I mean, it's inevitable. He's got the
My
gift.
heart is beating so fast I can't even get the fucking picture.
He's got the gift.
Calm down.
Oh my god, it's shape-shifting big time. Yes! You gotta get a video.
It's amazing how the mind just gets stuck in a rut. Like how do they not understand what they're seeing? I don't know if I can fault these people. You know, all these years I've been saying they see something like, you know, obviously they can't see that there's things hanging down that, you know, could be a. What if this fell down to them? Do you think they would run in fear? Or do you think by the time it landed at their feet, they would realize it's a balloon? Like, at what point do you not realize what you're videotaping? It's like, I don't even understand how the mind could even see this as a UFO. I could see maybe looking, okay, it's a balloon. You know, that's all you need. It doesn't take much longer than that. I mean, it doesn't for me. Especially with this footage. But I know I have to explain myself because I know he's going to watch this. And I don't want him to see me as attacking him, but come on, man. I mean, you know, I could even see the seam in the balloon, I think. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that's not a UFO.
You don't know the picture of him?
Wow.
Oh, look at that, man.
Wow. Hans is missing again.
Oh, he's gonna get mad.
I mean, unless anybody wants to challenge me on this, am I wrong? I mean, I don't mind disputing it. You know, I don't mind disputing it in a friendly manner. I mean, we can all agree, right? You see that? I mean, anything, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, what's the more obvious answer? A UFO hung around for 40 minutes and one guy with a camera, you know, and it just happens to look like a balloon. Come on. Watch. I'll show you something here. That's his YouTube channel. But seriously, I mean, come on. You can look at this with me. Seriously? You know, anything you want. What do you want to do? Want to do this one? Want to do this one? You want? Let's do this one. It's only 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Oh, I see one with Blake over here. Wow, now the production. Look at this guy.
It's not an orb. It actually looks very technical. It looks like a jack that you play jacks with. Anyway, enjoyed watching it, and I'll be
still
more.
Don't understand the music. Let's see what we got here. Hey, you never know. He may have a real UFO when it's all said and done somewhere. All right, so he likes to blur things out. I don't understand this guy. All right, thank you. I don't know, guys. What do you think? A drone? Is it a drone? One? It is. You can see the propeller. No wonder why it looks technical. Really? Come on, Robert. Robert. It's a drone. Am I wrong? No, really. Am I wrong? Hey, Dark Hour Paranormal Lori, Oli Fantan, Autopilot Maureen Green. Lufon, you made it. Congratulations. Tyler Sawyer, how you guys doing? Am I wrong? Is that not a drone? It's amazing. You can even see the propellers spinning. Look, it's spinning. Oh my God, there's a guy somewhere with a drone looking down at him and him looking up. I want to find this drone video. There's got to be a drone video channel looking down at Robert Bingham, looking up at him, thinking he's a UFO. This is unbelievable. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Ever. I am so thankful to Third Phase. You can see the blades. Oh my goodness gracious. How much you want to bet that never changes shape? It'll always look like that. Oh, this was great. He doesn't get it. The weird thing is you can't hear the drone.
On this particular video capture,
you know what I mean? Don't you think you would hear the drone? They're loud. I didn't realize how loud they are.
Park up there in Los Feliz area. I was on a street called Live Oak Drive, and I caught this. What caught my particular attention was that you have two objects.
Yeah, you got balloons, two balloons there, two down here. These are probably losing their, their erection, and they're connected by this string, rope, whatever.
Lifting three objects, and there's no deviation in the
Robert,
whatever's keeping
come
them
on,
connected.
Guy, you can.
Looks as though they're feeding each other. One's feeding the other one energy, I guess, like refilling it. But
I don't see what I mean, guys. I don't understand. And he's got 10,000 subscribers on balloons. Balloons. Yeah. 99 of the limp balloons. Like I said, for those of you who just got here, you see what I mean? Here's balloons at the store this morning. I took pictures of. They come in all shapes and sizes. You can make them look like anything you want. There's no secret that his video disappeared. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, I got to show you one more thing because it's just too much gold. It's just gold, Jerry. Not this one. There's this. You'll. Oh my God! Yay! Hey, Jaime. I mean Jimmy.
Well, I discovered that.
How can you do that?
Well, I discovered that.
With Robert Bingham, who is famous because he attracts UFOs. How can you do that?
How can you do that? Can't help it.
I discovered that I have the ability to telepathically call them down and they show up. So you might say that I've mastered that, how to do that. I shared it with the world, with the UFOs, summoning video techniques.
Can you turn it up, Jaime?
So I kind of mastered that.
Look at this investigative journalism. Jaime Mosan asking the hard questions. How can you do that? How can you do that? Come on, Jaime. He's gone more than 30 seconds.
It would sound crazy, but the thing is that you can demonstrate this with the cameras in front of you, like the BBC cameras, and you have recorded some amazing video too by yourself.
Oh yes, they actually help me. I request for them to show up, and they actually help me because they give me such good videos. It's good world.
I don't know. I don't know why it's funny. Okay. You got with Jaime Maussan. We get it. Congratulations. Hey, we're going to look at some UFO video right here with Robert Bingham. Okay, Joe.
If it would be real fast, or it might take a little while. So let's see what happens.
We are looking up at the balloon.
Okay, we're going to be watching you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to be watching you. I got to get him down. Hey, Reed, that's pretty good, eh?
See?
You sound a lot like me. Hey, I think I talk a little bit faster than you. By the time I get home, I'm tired. I got to introduce another drink, Reese.
Technique that I use to bring down the terrestrials.
Jaime's like, yeah, balloons. Yeah, balloons. Yeah, video. Yeah, yada, balloons. This is great. You can't write this stuff. You just can't. I mean, I know I spent too much time. Robert, you're a nice guy, Mr. Bingham. We wish you the best. Oh, that was Jaime, poor Jaime. Jaime, like, this guy, who Bingham, Borgera, I don't ever want to see. I don't think Jaime's ever spoken to him again, to be honest with you. Jaime, I mean, look at this. It's an actual heart on a balloon. You know what I mean? I mean, he calls these angels. Capiche? Look at me looking up. Look at me looking up. Look at me looking up. I'm looking down. I'm looking to the right. I'm looking right at you. He's trying. I'm looking at my hand. Hey, ladies, I'm feeling it. All of a sudden, I got a little bit popular. He's happy. He's really happy right there. All right, Mr. Bingham. We gave you enough. Have a great life. His link will be in the description after the show's over. And I'm going to put the link in the chat room so you kids can take a look at Mr. Bingham. You said his name correctly. I know. What else we doing? All right, we went a little bit forward. Now we're going to bring it back. We're going to talk about, what's his name? Who's this guy? Who's the guy I was talking about? Oh, yeah. Try and figure out who this is.
The F-94 there all by itself. The pilot locked on to one UFO that was in front of him and hitting full afterburners. He tried to chase the UFO down, but it took off and left him like he was setting. Now, this all was recorded on radar. And the situation is that the very next day, the morning actually of July the 27th, the powers that be in Washington, key civilian leaders in Washington, from the president on down, demanded, and the key word is demanded, answers as to what happened yesterday, what happened last night. That we had these objects going over Washington, D.C., that, you know, the entire control of the America, the people who were in control of America, was right there in Washington. And at one point, several UFOs went and remained stationary once again over the White House, meaning that the Air Force was helpless to do anything about these UFOs. And had they proven to be hostile, they could have went ahead, taken the president out, and taken out many other key leaders of the United States at that time.
Oh, I'm
so there
sure.
was a great demand.
Absolutely. And if you look at the Tunguska event, whether that would have been an accident or if that was a test on
Okay, this is an interview Dr. J and oh my God. No, not Larry Nichols. Oh my God. How could I not remember? I was just what's his name? No. It's got a C in it somewhere. The last name starts with a C. Not Philip Corso. Oh my God, I can't remember. But oh my God, I can't remember. I was just asking, do you guys know? Because I was going to say, and then I was listening to him, and now I lost his name. That's wild. That's crazy. It'll come back to me.
Extraterrestrial test of a weapon. The destruction of it was nothing, almost looked like a post-nuclear event, a nuclear detonation. So I would not be surprised that if they wanted this planet and they were hostile, then when they made that overflight, they would have shot straight into the White House and probably pulled an Independence Day right there.
And this guy who's talking, I've always said this about him over the years. He always acts like he knows more than what we already know. Like, he doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's very strange. I always thought this guy was a shill, and I can't remember his freaking name. I'm so embarrassed. I can get it here. It's going to drive me crazy. It's on this other video. I think it was... Oh, they didn't put it either.
They were trying to explain to me how they traverse
Clifford
the
Stone.
great distances of space. And now the one thing that they didn't really want to go into detail with me, and was not happy when I found out about it, there are two means of propulsions that they have. Like, they have antimatter drive. And me knowing about antimatter drive, that was okay. First time I heard of negative matter, they were pretty concerned that I knew something about that, and they told me, well, you know how antimatter drives, right? And I said, yeah, I understand the fundamentals of how that's supposed to work. Says, well, then, same difference, well, it's not.
I understand the fundamentals, how it works. The guy asked him, do you know how? No, he doesn't. I understand the fundamentals too. See what I mean?
But when they use, and I have to use the 100 light years of travel, because Corona actually comes from a planet that's 100 light years from planet Earth. So he says in order to get here in real time using antimatter, it's an hour and 40 minutes in real time through a traversable wormhole. Now, if you use...
Does that not sound like some made up shit? I know somebody out there is going to say, but there's mathematics, and he's right, Rich. If we go there, yeah, the speed of light, da-da-da-ba-dee-ba-da, whatever. Yeah, I know. Well, whatever. It's okay. I could be 100% wrong, and I know that. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying it's out there.
Doesn't matter. Then whether it's 100 light years or 100 million light years, you can go ahead and travel the distances where time is irrelevant. It's like stepping inside of one doorway into the next doorway. That there's no time involved, no measurable time.
Did he not just say it would take like an hour and 40 minutes to go through something? I don't know.
So, I'm still trying to understand all of that. But, when you travel through a traversable wormhole, you are actually doing travel through multi-dimensions. And they are well aware, and they were very well aware long before we are. Now, we're to the point where it's not well known to the public, but we're aware of the fact that other dimensions exist. And we're to the point right now where we actually believe scientifically, at least 6 other dimensions exist.
If you were having a conversation with somebody around Thanksgiving and you got into a discussion, COVID, and you get into a conversation about, I don't know, time travel or a movie, and then somebody says, they actually think that's a real thing, that there's multiple dimensions, and that, there may be 8 or 10 of them or something like that. And that each dimension is just slightly off. Well, actually, some people think there's an infinite amount of that. And you get into this discussion. You're not saying anything different than what he's saying here in an interview. You know as much as he does. Would you not agree? I don't know. I always thought this guy, Philip Stone, is that his name? I don't know. He talks so good, It just sounds so real. It's like I want to believe. But then I listen to the story and the details have been said by other people. This isn't anything new. This is why I play these things, because it's frustrating. When you're in this field, the longer you are, you learn that nothing ever changes and things just stay the same. It's frustrating. And there's people out there now on Twitter, that UFO Twitter group, thinking that disclosure is really close. Now they're back now. They're coming back around. I can't help but wonder what UFO Jesus thinks right about this time. Oh my God.
Wrongdoings to right.
Sure, everyone wants
But
a second
the whole
chance.
situation is, in the space-time continuum, and that's the term I'm afraid I have to use. People say, "Oh, we're going back to the movie, Back to the Future." No. The term actually exists, that we are in. This is, from the beginning of our time, if you wish to say the Big Bang Theory, all the way up to where we are right now, in the reality that we are in. Now, you go back and you change anything, even back to the time of the dinosaurs, our Neanderthal man. You change anything back there, you've altered the course of history. And
you've altered the course of that history. You've created an alternate universe. I don't like this guy. I've watched Back to the Future umpteen times, 2 and 3. When you create or you change something, you create an alternate universe, yes? And doesn't the other universe just continue on as it was? The one you left? When you come back, you created an alternate timeline. If you kill your father before you're born, you don't die. You don't just disappear. You exist in the reality you exist in, which is why I think we live in a matrix reality. Because that's the loophole. If you could time travel, it changes everything. I don't think you can. I don't think you can time travel. Is it possible? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think we can right now. Even in the secret space programs. I don't think we can. And the thing is, we wouldn't even notice if anything changed, right? What if Hillary became president? But somebody went back in time and changed things around, which really is what it was like. Because I could have sworn Hillary was killing Trump in the beginning, and then all of a sudden everything changed. It's as if somebody went back in time because they went to the future and saw what would happen if Hillary became president. Didn't it seem like it that night that time travel was possible? I still think about it to this day. I think about 9/11. I think those towers probably had to come down and the Pentagon get hit and all the things happened because they had to happen for the best possible future. Maybe those planes were filled with bombs, like nukes. What if they were filled with nukes and they went back in time and defused them and the planes just crashed into the buildings? That'd be weird if there were two nukes that went off right there. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense, because if one nuke goes off, how could the other plane hit a building that just been destroyed? Alternate universe. All right, let's see what Philip Stonewall says here. Let's go. Oh, I like the look of this one.
And when I looked over at the clock, it was, I think, a little after midnight. And then I laid back down. Then it was like, I was having this dream where I entered an altered reality. And I got to meet with my son. And they told me, anything that you and your son talk about on this side of that veil that you call heaven, you will remember fully. But if you cross over into that veil, you won't remember anything you talked about.
Is that why people stay around as ghosts, to remember things?
I have no idea. But I do know what we talked about. I mean,
I don't know anything about ghosts. Aliens, I could tell you stories till we're blue in the face, but ghosts, no, I can't talk about that. I don't know anything about ghosts, but I'll talk about reptilians.
I asked him, well, how is it playing a harp all day long? He says, we don't do that.
All right, with all kidding aside, imagine if this is real now. I want you to just, don't listen to me. I'm just an ass, but I also am engaged. I really enjoy the story, because what if it's real? I know in the back of my mind, that's what I'm thinking. All kidding aside. I'm like, but what if it is real? And then you try to imagine a world where it's actually real. They put you in their shoes the best they can. These guys who tell these fantastic stories with no proof, or little proof that is just enough to get you there, but not all the way to prove it. There's a little trail that leads close to it, but we never get to the actual proof. We're always just, oh, it's so close, man. If we could just, somebody get a picture. Somebody, please. With microchips so small, you don't think somebody could have smuggled something out maybe 5 years ago and they're still holding on to it? Oh, I bet you there is. There's got to be somebody making copies of this stuff. Absolutely. Imagine working for this. Here, you know how stressful it would be not knowing if you're ever going to make it home? How scary would that be, knowing these secrets? Imagine that. Having to go to bed with so much weight on your shoulders every night. You got the secret. Oh my God, it's just, I can't get off. I just got to, I want to tell somebody. I mean, aliens, they live and work and eat, and they're right next to me. Yep, right next to me. They're always watching. Always watching. They're everywhere. They're just a little click off in another reality, but they're watching. They're watching all of us. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, I can't. I got to tell somebody. Are they reading my mind? Oh, that's right. They can read minds too. MK Ultra. They're going to tell me to do something. Oh my God, what if they tell me to do something stupid just to make me look like I killed myself? Oh my God, I can't stop that. I got to tell somebody. Can you imagine living with this burden? I could, yeah. Yeah, I could do it. Easily. If you want to tell me about aliens, I'm just letting the government know this. I won't say a word. Matter of fact, I'll You know, you want to buy me out and I'll never speak again? Hey, I'm your guy. Oh boy, I would love to know the truth. Then people would come up and they'd be like, Rich, you disappeared. Like you always said, if you made a deal to get the truth, that you would shut it down and disappear. I can't believe it. Did they get to you? And I'd be like, You'd be like, oh my God, if you don't say anything, I'm going to believe that they did, that they talked to you, that they bought you out just to shut you down. Is that what they did to you? If you don't say anything, I'm going to think that they really did. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, they did. They bought you out. Oh, oh my God, you could, oh man, you got that burden. Oh man, that's great. You know the truth. So what's it like? Oh yeah, man, you can't say. Oh my God. I could only dream. What would I do, my God, to know the truth? Can you imagine?
So he says, no, the things we did on Earth that we enjoyed, that were good, like playing baseball, football, we still do that here. And, you know, the games aren't fixed, but we have fun with what we do. And, you know, just imagine how bad it would be if you just sat around throughout eternity playing a harp. And from time to time, we get to visit with our family. They may or may not be aware of us. They may not see us. Well, my daughter came from Vietnam. She actually got to see Bobby because they were staying here in this house, and he actually came to visit them. And her concern, her husband's concern, was that the kids might see him. And he says, no. They're not going to see me. I just want to come and see how things are going.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only night, to the best of my knowledge, that they actually had any experience. Then I had another friend of mine who was here sleeping. He works for the government. And I said, oh, did you sleep okay last night? He says, oh, yeah. Says, of course, there was some noise and everything. And I got up and tried to find out what it was. And I finally realized that, you know, it was just Bobby. And that was the name of my son. I said, oh? He says, yeah. So after that, I went back to bed and I was okay. Okay. But he ended that he saw him too. But they went ahead and had things like that. And there's things at this house that happens that are weird too. But I had
That
that.
was a really weird way to tell a story about seeing your friend's dead son. The guy wakes up from a loud noise or something, goes to get up, see what it was. And then he asked, you know, when he told him, he goes, oh, it was just Bobby. Okay, all right. The way he told that story, don't you think the guy would have been a little bit more excited? Maybe not. Maybe they already knew the stories and it didn't freak the guy out. Just thought it was I've never heard a story of somebody verifying an apparition and not having a little bit of excitement in their voice. And Philip Stone tells that story as if they see ghosts every day. It's just a bizarre way to tell the story. Anyway, all right. Well, neither here nor there. Philip Stone, love him or leave him. Let me put this in the chat room. Just thought it would be interesting. I have a very hard time with his stories, so I'm answering this for the people who I've had conversations with, as well as those who don't know who Philip Stone was. But you can find it all out right there on the video. And I'll put the link in the description. Thanks, Third Phase. Thank you, Dr. J. What else we got? We've done all that. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it. Is this it? There's a little video I thought was interesting. Well, I'll play this for you. This is a former NASA scientist has announced that he discovered this in Saturn's rings. Did I play this already? This looks familiar. Well, probably because I've seen it, but I don't know.
NASA employees are regarded as people that search for the truth.
Did I play this?
They use science in order to explain anomalies that are found in the cosmos. But what happens when a former NASA scientist comes forward with a startling claim? This is exactly what happened when Norman Bergeron came forward with his
Yeah, I thought so. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, well, that's why we are here. Oh, okay, so I sent this video to a few people. I love me some deep sea mysteries. Man alive. I would love to jump to the grand finale right away, but I think I'm going to inch my way to the 9-minute mark because the last half of this video, and I've never played it on the show. Not that I remember. Did I play this too? I played this? I didn't play this. No, there's no way. I did not play this. I would remember. Did I play this? No, I didn't. There's no sound. That's right. Because they're underwater. Hello. The mermaid. Yep. This is unbelievable to me. These deep sea creatures that while they're working underwater or doing little surveys or just checking the ecology. Is it ecology? Anyway, here's some stories, videos, things, and that were accidentally the best way to catch anything. And now the mermaids, love them or leave them. I got to tell you, I don't know if these are real, and I don't think they are, but they're very... I don't think that's real. I don't know. It looks very good. It looks like it's out there. It's consistent with the rest of it. I don't know. Mermaids. We've talked about mermaids before. I want to believe in mermaids so badly that things that to me could be CGI, not like this kind of footage. I'll show you when they get to it. But remember that documentary that came out several years ago where the people who worked for the ocean, I can't remember what it's called, but they were biologists, basically, marine biologists. And they got mermaids on video with their submarine. Remember? And there was a video of a kid who supposedly, with his friend walking up on the beach, happened to walk upon a dying or what appeared to be dead creature. And then the creature goes, and its hand comes out. It looks legit, but it really didn't. So I don't know if they made this documentary as imagine if mermaids were real, this is how it would happen type of show. That's what they did. And it looked real. It looked so real that this looks like one of them. But when this thing, I don't know. What is it doing? Taking the sun? Just decided to crawl up on a rock where people can see it and videotape it. Maybe it doesn't know we have video cameras. How would it know? How would mermaids know? I guess the only way a mermaid... See there? That's from the documentary, this one. Yeah. They're in their submarine. And yeah, it's hard to understand what's happening from these shortened clips, but they were getting some activity, I think. Yeah, this looks fake as I'll ever get. I don't know what's wrong with it, but watch when it jumps. See, it doesn't make a splash, nothing. I can't. All right, now we're going to get into real stuff. This is real. Right? How big was this thing? 100 feet? Didn't it go down? Like, wasn't it 100 feet long? It was pretty big. It had these super long, it was like those drones that you see in Star Wars that hover over the ground. This I always thought was interesting, but had a realistic quality, but also looked fake. These are supposed to be mermaids. Now, I see dolphins. I don't know. I never looked. I forgot. I was going to look up dolphins jumping out of the water from the sky or something. I don't know. All right. We're coming up on the I don't know what this is. All right. Here we go. This is, I think this is the shark. And I think it's really big. Right? Isn't this the megalodon or megalodon? It's pretty big. I mean, it looks enormous. Watch this. That's a real shark. That is ridiculous. Wow. Wow. God. I love the ocean and I'm scared of the ocean. Here we go. Now we're going to get into the best thing about the video here. What the? I'm not going to say much, but just imagine this is on planet Earth. Imagine what's on other planets. Holy mackerel. We have no idea what this thing is. When it comes back in, I'll shush it. All right, it's coming back in. Shh. I have no idea what we're looking at. And to me, I'm not a expert on underwater size and without perspective, I would have to say this thing looks about 30 feet, maybe. It's hard to tell. It's undulating and it looks like there's something internal that's almost powering it. Like it drives these illuminated or iridescent internal organs just moving this whole thing through the water with no effort whatsoever. Excuse me, COVID whatsoever. The colors of brown sand looks like almost like a pinkish hue. Here's a hue. It looks like tan. There's white. Look at this thing. It looks like it's reacted to the camera. Like it all the white bright stuff just, wow. It's so weird. I can't explain it. It looks like you're shooting, if you had a dye and you were shooting dye into oil or water and you watch it just form like these cloud-like movements. This looks like we're looking at a cloud in fast motion underwater. Look at the top side of this thing. What is that? What is rotating out of it? Is that the organs? Is that a mouth? Is that the hands? What are we doing here? Look at this. Wow, that is so bizarre to me. Oh, it's on planet Earth even. I don't even know what we're doing. What if it isn't planet Earth? Maybe they're just telling us it's Earth. Yeah, I believe it's Earth. Yeah, this is from planet Earth. But nonetheless, we have no freaking clue what this thing is. This could be the aliens that are inhabiting Earth. And this is why we can't have disclosure. It may have a ship. It may take the form of whatever. And maybe it works through bursts of energy or electricity like our brain works. This thing must fire on some sort of cylinder, some sort of connective tissue breeding. What does it eat? How does it eat? Does it just go around sucking up all the little stuff? And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a black hole. This might be the black hole of the ocean. All right, I'll be quiet. Oh, I can't though. Look at how weird it is. What is it saying? Hello? No, I don't see that. I am very confused at what I'm seeing. And I've watched this thing several times. What happened? Wow. Where did it go? Is that not weird? That is bizarre. Just absolutely bizarre. COVID. Man. You gotta think about it, man. We know more about the moon. Oh my God, the moon. I have so much more I want to talk about tonight. There's a video I wanted to play. There's a bunch of them. I have a moon landing fake. Like how a filmmaker says that the moon landings would be harder to fake than to go to the moon. and he explains why in a very intelligent way. But that's 13 minutes long, man. But it's just, we have so many people who think it would be easy just to fake the moon landing. I got to tell you, after watching this video, I'm convinced of nothing. I don't know. Well, all right, I'll play a little bit of it and then I'll explain the rest so you can get an idea of how amazing this guy's he uses facts. He doesn't just theorize, okay? It's facts.
Why the moon hoax would have been impossible? Take one. Did people go to the moon in 1969? I'm not totally sure. I wasn't on the moon then. Did they fake going to the moon? No, I'm pretty sure they didn't, because they couldn't. Some people say that in 1969, people were incapable of sending a man to the moon, but that they were capable of staging the whole thing in a TV studio. In fact, the opposite is true. By the late 1960s, they did have the technical ability, not to mention the requisite madness, to send 3 guys to the moon and back. They did not have the technology to fake it on video. Now, please understand, I'm not saying this to defend the honor of the United States. The US government lies all the time about all kinds of things, and if they haven't lied to you today, maybe they haven't had coffee yet. So it's easy to believe the Apollo program was a lie too, especially if you weren't alive then, and if you don't know much about the technology profiles of the day. You see, the later you were born, the more all-powerful movie magic seems. Nowadays, it would be very easy to fake a moon landing, and we seem to have forgotten how to do it for real. Back then, it was the other way around, really. Ever since the 1920s, engineers were trying to improve liquid-fueled rockets and their guidance systems. They wanted to go to outer space. The people who were paying for it wanted better bombs. By 1943, Wernher von Braun's people already had a fully functional suborbital rocket called the Aggregate Fear, later known as the V2. After the war, the German rocket scientists went to work for 2 rival superpowers who then went to insane lengths to outdo each other on the world stage. It was a global dick-wagging contest on a scale never before seen in human history. It's fair to say that technology growth in the Cold War was mostly a competition in aerospace, rocketry, and weapons science. That was the kind of engineering people strove to excel in. And by the mid-60s, limited space travel was a possibility, I think. Meanwhile, film technology had gotten wider, and television was still busy trying to be in color. Now, here's where the stories diverge. In one version, the Americans waste $20 billion to send 3 guys to the moon, plant a plaque that says we came in peace for all mankind, and then go home to bomb Cambodia. In the more tantalizing version, NASA at some point realizes they just can't. So to avoid humiliation, they hire Stanley Kubrick to produce and direct the moon landing telecasts. You know, he did such a great job with 2001. Years later, once the Apollo astronauts are starting to collect Medicare, some people get a lot of attention by pointing out flaws in the photographic evidence from Apollo. When you listen to them, they seem not to know very much about photography or video or lighting or even perspective. And I think they're hoping you don't either. So we should have seen stars in the sky? No, we shouldn't. The camera was set to expose for broad daylight. If they were exposing for stars, then this picture would have looked more like this. Flags waving in the breeze? No, it isn't. It's wiggling in the vacuum after they let it go. And the shadows diverge unrealistically across the landscape? No, they don't. Go outside sometime and see how shadows work. They obviously used multiple light sources in this picture, right? No, they obviously didn't. I've been shooting in the studio for about 30 years now. I know what to look for. When you shine 2 lights at something, you get 2 shadows. So this would have looked more like this, but it doesn't, because this stuff was shot with a single light source. And if that light was...
And I'm going to stop it there. And that's true. I posted some pictures on Facebook a couple of years ago, and I think it was 2011 or 12. And I showed how shadows right next to me were going two different directions. The sun was getting ready to go down. There was another hour of sunlight, so it was that low angle, and it hit off the building two different ways. I couldn't believe I was seeing this with my own eyes. It was just phenomenal to see that. And it all has to do with angles and perception. You don't see two shadows here. If there was another light source, you would see the other light source's shadow, like he just showed us. That always bugged me too. After you watch this, here's the link in the chat room. Hold on. Here's the link. After you watch the rest of this, because it gets really wordy. I mean, you really have to pay attention, and we're trying to go at a different pace here tonight. So watch the rest of that on your own. It's excellent, and you will believe we actually went to the moon. He talks about how there was a continuing stream, and I don't remember. I think it was 100. I don't know. It was a lot of minutes. It was over an hour and a half or something. Live video, or 8 hours. Yeah, it was 8 hours or something. Live video of the guys on the moon and everything. And that was streamed, to everybody across the world. Well, if they faked it and had it on film, they would have had to have had a ridiculous amount of actual film to record it, and then they would have to edit it perfectly so you wouldn't see the splicing of the film, on TV. The little pops and the little crinkles and things you would see in the movies. You could always see the little splicing mark in the top right-hand corner. Now they just, all that stuff gets edited out. But with film, and also, you don't think with film that, they would have had to have used a ridiculous amount of film. There would have been no way to splice it all together in all those hours, and not having it break down. Projectors always broke down. They broke down in the 80s, guys, let alone in the late 60s, 70s. Yeah. I think we went to the moon. I think we did. And the Van Allen belt may not actually be real. Maybe the Van Allen belt isn't really the Van Allen belt after all. Maybe we went through this thing supposedly called the Van Allen belt, which is why none of these guys got a lethal dose of radiation going there and back. Yes, I know they only went once each time. They didn't send the same astronauts You'd think they would want to send the same guys who went before, but they didn't. It was a different crew. That doesn't make sense. It's weird, isn't it? Why wouldn't you send the best of the best, the guys who've been there, done that? Maybe it is real after all. I don't know. But we went to the moon. We supposedly were told never to return. And we went 5 more times. Or was it the last time they told us to never return? We haven't, have we? We've sent probes up there. China sent that probe to the dark side. I don't know. Didn't it break down after like an hour or a minute? It didn't last that long, right? Somebody's going back. I think we went to the moon. All right, speaking of the moon, I think the moon doesn't belong. There's something wrong with the moon. I think you guys would agree. Are you guys, I think we talked about this before, about lightning in space? Where's the, oh, you motherless. Are you serious? Is this it? All right. All right, here it is. I'm going to play this video. This is unbelievable. This is a standard theory of moon's origins shattered. I'm going to play a hefty amount of this video. So I think you will enjoy this as much as I did. We've never gone into it. We just brushed on this topic before.
Welcome to Space News from the Electric Universe, brought to you by the Thunderbolts Project at thunderbolts.info. New scientific reports upend the standard theory of the origins of our planet's moon. A decade ago, a Japanese aerospace exploration agency spacecraft spent a year and a half orbiting the moon and collecting data. The spacecraft was equipped with an ion mass spectrometer, and it detected something unexpected: an abundance of carbon ions, which were distributed, quote, over almost the total lunar surface. The concentrations of the carbon ions were so high that they cannot be accounted for by deposition of carbon by the solar wind. Dating back to the Apollo era, astronomers had believed that the moon had very little carbon ions, since they did not turn up in earlier mapping. In fact, the discovery severely undermines the long-standing impact theory of the moon's formation, which has always required a lack of volatiles such as carbon. The problem for the standard theory is outlined in a Science Alert report, which states, "The reason that's a problem for the lunar impact formation model, in which a large body we call Theia collided with Earth sometime in the early years of the solar system, breaking off a chunk and sending it into Earth orbit, is because volatiles have a low boiling point. But the Theia collision would have generated pretty intense temperatures, 4,000 to 6,000 Kelvin, which should have partially vaporized the debris and boiled away the volatiles, producing what is known as a volatile-depleted dry moon." As those who follow this series understand, science discovery has disturbed almost every element of the conventional model of our solar system's formation and evolution. And on the moon, as with every other rocky body we observe, a geological history primarily built around periodic collisions and explosions has failed to accurately predict discovery. Indeed, the question of how the moon got its craters was one of the many debates in space science which were settled prematurely. As we entered the space age, the debate among geologists and astronomers only considered two hypotheses: impacts and volcanism. After Apollo astronauts returned lunar samples to Earth, analysis revealed a tremendous portion of the material was composed of shocked and welded minerals. Thus, the impact origin of lunar craters became the consensus scientific theory, and remains so today. However, as with so much settled science, discovery reliably introduces new dilemmas in the form of surprises. Late last year, we reported on a scientific study which throws into disarray conventional beliefs about the largest and oldest so-called impact crater on the moon. The lunar South Pole Aitken Basin is roughly 2,500 kilometers in diameter and 13 kilometers deep, which makes it one of the largest, quote, impact craters in the entire solar system. Scientists had theorized that the basin contained materials from the moon's mantle, since the tremendous kinetic energy from the hypothetical impact would have likely pierced the lunar crust and brought the materials to the surface. However, a team of scientists studying data from the Chinese spacecraft Chang'e 4's rover found that in reality, the predominant mineral is common in the lunar soil. The co-author of a paper published in the Geophysical Research Letters said of the findings, "We are not seeing the mantle materials at the landing site as expected." A Phys.org report on the discovery states, "The new study complicates theories about how the oldest, largest crater on the moon formed. The new study complicates the certainty of earlier findings and points toward a need for continued research on the far side's lunar surface." Of course, scientific theories inevitably become complicated when only one theory.
I don't understand it. You know, when you look at this thing, seriously, how's that even possible? Whoa, what'd you do? How's that even possible? And I want you to notice this here, the way these are overlapping on other craters. I'll have to fast forward it because it's very lengthy, but the way they explain it is that the moon was electrically charged or in a lightning storm or was hit with electricity and created these outcroppings and these odd looking craters.
Valley. Usually,
like there's a little crater inside this crater. This could only happen, and they did tests that shown that when they did these tests with the electricity and created the impact, it did exactly what we see on the moon. I think they'll talk about it, but I'm trying to go quick here. It's just wild.
usually with steep walls and often emerging from a crater. This feature is pervasive on the moon at dramatically different scales. Prior to the Apollo missions, astronomers' early hypotheses suggested that the rills were, quote, cracks on the moon's surface. Later conjectures included flowing water, until scientists settled on flowing lava as the agent. Today, the accepted theory is that the moon's sinuous rills were created either by lava flowing across the surface or beneath the ground to form a lava tube, portions of which eventually collapsed. Jurgens compared the respective point-by-point requirements of various competing theories versus the actual observed characteristics of the rills. Unlike planetary scientists, Jurgens included among the possible agents high-energy electrical discharge. On every evidentiary point, the electrical discharge hypothesis is either permissible or predictable. And unlike every competing hypothesis, in not a single instance does the evidence preclude electrical discharge as the cause of the rills. Even prior to Jurgens' investigation, several scientists had noted that flowing liquids, whether water or lava, could not have caused the observed features of the lunar rills, including the strings of craters along the floors of the rills. These points are underscored when we examine the moon's famous Hadley Rill. Today, planetary scientists agree that the rill is a, quote, collapsed lava tube. However, the rill does not match the required characteristics of lava tubes on numerous points. Most importantly, the collapsed areas of a lava tube will be rubble-filled depressions. High-resolution images of the rill reveal no rubble and no collapsed tubes. It is simply an empty, sharply cut channel, which matches the expected characteristics of an electrical, quote, breakdown channel. Perhaps the greatest problem for the volcanic hypothesis of lunar rills is their tremendous length. On our own planet, the longest lava tube reaches only 65 kilometers. That is about half the length of Hadley Rill, which is 130 kilometers. However, the exact opposite should be true. On Earth, the atmosphere is insulating, allowing lava to retain its heat. In the so-called vacuum of space, heat will be much more rapidly radiated away. On our planet, as lava flows over distances no more than tens of kilometers, the cooling at the surface causes a roof to form. It may then continue to flow as a, quote, tube beneath.
Yeah, but without gravity, maybe it moves faster, huh? You didn't say that. See, this is why they need me on these shows. Here's the rest of that video. Watch that in your own time. Thank you very much for looking at that with us all. Very interesting stuff, because the moon looks like it's been hit with electricity, and that's what they're showing. They've done these experiments. Yeah, the things that you see here are just wickedly similar to the experiments they did. I mean, when something replicates it, I understand, but they've done them in, vacuum chambers and things like that. So you got to watch the rest of it. The moon is not what I think it is. So what does that mean, actually? Oh, Jesus, man, you got me, but it keeps Earth in check. We need it more than it. Well, we need each other, but I think we need it based on how many people. Well, we don't know. There might be people up there. We just don't know. Do you guys, I accidentally skipped, maybe we won't talk about that tonight. Yeah, we'll do it another time. Hold on. All right. So I spoke about the Earth's magnetic field the other night, that it was weakening. I don't know if I read this. No, there's a weird anomaly that's happening. And that's what is weird. Let me see if this is it. Huh, yeah, a vigorous magnetic field oddity spotted over South Atlantic. A long-standing weak spot in Earth's magnetic field is getting weirder, and it may be splitting into two distinct zones of weakness. The South Atlantic anomaly is a section of Earth's magnetic field between Africa and South America. For decades at least, this region of the magnetic field has gotten weaker and weaker, part of a global trend. According to the European Space Agency, ESA, the global magnetic field has lost 9% of its strength over the past 200 years. Didn't I already freaking read this thing? Why am I having this story? I pulled it up today as new. That's weird. I must have resent it to me. It's a fluctuating field. GPS compasses, they may not work in these areas. So the magnetic field works. It protects the planet from charged solar particles that can damage electrical equipment. And if that's weakening in these areas, well, satellites that seem to cross over it seem to short out. The space station goes through it. The Hubble telescope spends 15% of its life going through that zone. It's a weird, no, and it's not where you would think the Bermuda Triangle would be. It's actually further south by thousands of miles. But I wonder if it has maybe some reverberation or these weird effects that happen over in this area. Maybe it comes out the other side over in the Bermuda Triangle or in the Devil's Triangle. Maybe it's like a little portal. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking, well, maybe Atlantis is over there. Everybody's looking all over in the northern hemisphere. Maybe it's in the southern. Maybe everybody's wrong. I don't know. Yeah. The current weakening of the Earth's magnetic field could portend another one of those flip-flops, where the North and the South Pole switch. It could be temporary. If the field does reverse, the South Atlantic anomaly is to be the origin of the change, researchers have found. The ESA's Swarm constellation of satellites launched in 2013 is probing the anomaly for small changes that could explain what's going on in the core. Since the group of satellites went into orbit, the South Atlantic anomaly has developed a second center of minimum magnetic intensity, according to the ESA. This second weak spot indicates a complex process in the Earth's core. A simple dipolar north-south magnetic field can't explain the pattern, the agency reported in a press release. Mystery below. Well, yeah, the new eastern minimum of the South Atlantic anomaly has appeared over the last decade and in recent years is developing vigorously. We're very lucky to have the Swarm satellites in orbit to investigate the development of the South Atlantic anomaly. The challenge now is to understand the process in Earth's core driving these changes. You understand what's going on here. The Earth's core, it's spinning, right? It creates the magnetic field. There's a disruption. There's a weakening. Very bad for satellites, communications, and all sorts of stuff. Airplanes, they need GPS. Imagine if they just fly around in that area. We've heard it before. What if this effect creates some sort of portal or vortex or something that could pop up in different parts of the world? There was a story, and I can't remember. I think it was when I first got into this field, 2004. And it was a story of a woman who was cleaning her kitchen. and a man appeared right before her. And he looked stunned. She was stunned. Where did he come from? He said, from what I remember the story was, he was sitting reading, and the next thing he knew, he was there in her kitchen. She didn't go anywhere, he did. Ugh. That is so bizarre. There was another story that popped up. The guy who saw the portal underneath the sink in his home, and he went 30 years into the future and saw himself as a 65-year-old guy. Remember that? And they supposedly had the same tattoos, and they looked at each other, and the nose could have been similar. It looked like it was the guy's father. That's all it is. It's not him. And the tattoo didn't match. Yes, I know when you get 30 years older, the body changes. The skin may actually retract, or if you go the other way, it could expand. It was close. But it didn't look 30 years old either. A little fresh. Nah, like a year old fresh. Lots of stories out there. Lots of weird anomalies we don't know anything about. This is the weirdest world. The Earth by itself, with the spinning core and a mantle and flying through space. And we're at the outstretched arm of a spiraling universe in the middle of nowhere. If you look at what we got as humans, it looks like we literally got the basics. We have 8 or 9 planets, depending on who you are. I like to think we have 9. I'm going to say it. We have 9. I know it's 8, but it'll go back to 9. You'll see. No? All right. 8. 8 ball says it's 8. I looked at it and I saw the number 8. That was enough for me to change my mind to say 8. We didn't get 20 planets, 2 suns. You know what I mean? We got one freaking weird, bizarre moon that makes no sense in the whole entire solar system, let alone anything else we find anywhere in this weird reality. That moon doesn't make sense at all. Everything's wrong. I look up at the moon, I feel like somebody's looking back at me, and I don't mean the man in the moon. I'm talking about the men in the moon. I feel like there may be ancient humans living up there. Maybe, oh no. Oh, you know what I just thought? Nah, that couldn't be. Like, no, that can't be. Well, a lot of, yeah, no, I'm not even going to say it. What if there is a huge, like, what if the moon is hollowed out and inside of it, like an ecosystem? No, see, I don't know. I think the moon, there may be things up there. I'm looking at it on the monitor. It's weird, man. I don't know. Nothing about the moon is right. So, as humans, it looks like we got the starter kit, right? So, I would have to say to each and every one of you, if that's the case, we've got a couple of gas giants out there, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, right? Then we got the other ones that are close, that are the rocky, what is it? Venus, Earth, Mars. Where does Neptune go? Is Neptune a rock? Or is it, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, poor little guy. But it's like we got a starter kit. Like we got just enough in our solar system. Like we got just enough that when we get more advanced, technology-wise, we can maybe travel off planet. Now, next one is Mars. We've been to the moon. We want to go to Mars. Let's say in 10 years we go to Mars. And then after that, I don't know, Titan. I would like to see what's on Titan. Isn't that the... And what about the... I mean, there's so many places you can go, right? That'd be weird. We just have to figure out a way to keep us alive to get us there. Would it take 10 years to go that far? Out to the gas giants? I got to tell you, if it was a one-way trip and somebody said, look, we're going to shoot you out into space and you're going to fly by all the planets. We got it set up perfectly. You'll suck into the gravity, you'll pull by, the moons of Mars, and then you'll go around and go through Saturn and then Jupiter. You'll get to see all the moons. Well, not all of them, depending on where you fly by. But you're going to see a lot of stuff. But at the end, we can't control it after you go past Pluto. We don't have any control. You could do one of two things. You could live out your life floating out into space. I don't know, maybe a UFO will pick you up. It's a one-way trip. Would you do it? You could always kill yourself. You could always take that magic pill that they give all the astronauts. But let's say you had an unlimited amount of food. You have the ability to create gravity. You see, this is impossible. We can't do that. If we can create gravity inside of a ship, I guess we could if it was spinning, right? Isn't that the theory on that? Have that ship just spinning through? I don't know if that actually works after a while. Does that actually work? I wonder if it would. How could it? Once it's in perpetual motion and the wheel that's spinning, that's supposedly creating gravity, hits its maximum rotation, 1 revolution a minute. How is it still creating gravity if it's in perpetual motion? I don't understand that. I guess because you're always pushed in that direction. Wouldn't it, like if you pushed off of it, I guess, I don't know. Is that a theory? Or they can really do that? They can really do that? Have something rotating to create a false gravity? Is that a known thing? I don't think it is. If it was a known thing, they would be doing it already. They're not doing it. It's very expensive. It's always about money, isn't it? It always is. There's no question about it. What's that? Yep, it is. Let's see. Tomorrow, the RFB interview with Tyler is tomorrow. Yeah, couldn't do it tonight. Sorry, Missy. I know. I was excited too. I got to get a new computer. It's fine. I'll get it fixed with the mistake I created. Are we done? Yeah, we're done. All right. Well, that was easy. That was an easy 2 hours. The videos did a lot of talking. I feel like I'm missing something. Was I supposed to talk about something else? I don't remember. That's it. Yeah, we'll figure it out tomorrow, guys. It's no big deal. It's all good. We're just here to have a good time. All right. Thanks for hanging out. You guys appreciate it. Thank you, moderators, for keeping everybody in check. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That is just really loud, isn't it? No, it's not, but it is in my head. I hate that this volume doesn't accept what that volume is telling me. I gotta get a new headset. I'm not psychic. If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/GUFONRadio. You wanted to join the network, go to GUFON.net. It's free. You want to donate without joining anything, go to GUFON.org. It goes all over the floor, you donate. Thank you very much. You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. See you guys. There we go. That was easy. Bye. Hey, thanks, Lee. I'll say it again. Thank you for that 79 cent or 79 euros. Thank you very much. 0.79. Very cool. I appreciate that. Yes, all super chats. Thank you very much tonight. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you. It is over, Tommy. Yeah, somebody put a super chat in, and as I was hitting the end broadcast button, Lee donated super chat. All right, there goes. See you guys. Oh, man. All right. Ma, no more meatballs.